My name is Social Norm. I'm an artist from Massachusetts, based out of Rhode Island. I go to school for communications, mass media, but I also make music. Well, I mainly make music, I should say. I don't know, I'm pretty calm and quiet for the most part, but like I love to have fun, especially just with music. That's just the way to start everything. Like I need some sort of vibration. I don't know, I'd say like the best way to describe me is exactly how someone would see me on stage, because that's exactly when I'm not thinking at all and just being like completely myself. So if someone comes to a show and sees me perform, that's me being me as a person. Like that's pretty much as far as I could say. But I'm really just eager just to like discover everything, and especially myself, because I know I still haven't like done that to the full. Always wrote throughout high school, always freestyled with the homies and things like that. But yeah, I didn't start taking it for real till like 2 years ago. I always wanted to rap, but I always felt like I'd never even get the opportunity to ever record a song. So every single time that I'm recording them, I feel like literally extremely fortunate every single time, because I never thought that I'd be able to do it. So every time I do it like it's my last time doing it. I always say every person that I've met through music is a part of Social Norm. I started doing radio before anything, and when I did radio, I met a whole bunch of artists. I met like at least like 60 plus artists. I did radio for 2-3 years, and then every single week. So every single artist that came on that show is a part of who I am, because who kind of like brought me into their world, and their world is exactly what I'm in and exactly what's gonna bring me to where I want to go with music. So I owe them everything, and shout out Soko, shout out Church 808. Hosting, being able to enjoy artists who I've never met before, being able to enjoy their music live is the best way to discover their music, because right after I hear it live, I go and I search it on the internet. So I was able to meet a whole bunch of artists and enjoyed so much new music that I still listen to till this very day, like it was like a mainstream artist. And to me, I always say I try not to use the word local artists, just because people hear that and they feel like that they don't matter. And I just feel like, yo, these local artists are way better than like half of you guys' favorite artists. Like, and that's for a fact. That's for a fact. Especially in Rhode Island, like there's so much talent, artistic talent that I've never seen before, and that the world has never seen before, and like we're still all working together and just trying to expose this shit, because it's crazy. It's for, and especially in music, it's really some of the greatest music that I've ever listened to, period. I met Hay Street last year. It was at a show that I hosted, and yeah, they just introduced themselves to me, and I actually ended up performing on a show like a month later with them, and that's actually how I like really started performing more frequently, and I was able to make music with them, and eventually started just making more music on my own and such. But I was always making music by myself before I met them, but definitely not as frequent. Like they definitely just like put a battery in my back, and it was on go since then. But it's funny actually, the first time I ever performed they were at that show, but I didn't know them. Like we didn't know each other, period. We met each other like months after, like 4 months after the first time I ever performed. So it's actually like one of those like wild coincidence, butterfly effect things. So it's really funny. Before I left home, it was just dreams and things that I wanted to do that I never thought that I'd be able to do. So as soon as I left home, I saw that I was able to do those things, and then as time went on, I started to do those things. Like I never thought I'd ever be on a stage. Performing is something I've always wanted to do since I was, whenever I started thinking or remembering things. Even still to this day, like I always just like zone out and just picture me performing, because that's definitely my favorite part of making music. And like sometimes when I even just like can't fall asleep, I just like think of myself performing in front of like thousands and thousands of people. like, and I fall asleep and dream to that, like, cause that's my dream, and like that's something that I definitely have to do, and I think I'm going to do it. And the day I do it, I can definitely assure you that's gonna be like one of the best days of my life. So yeah, leaving home has definitely made that a possibility, and if I never left home, that wouldn't even never been a possibility, period. The negatives do everything, man. I'll tell you that. The negatives have definitely made me more creative. You feel me? It definitely gives you way more to talk about, and especially just growing. I'm 22 right now, so especially just growing. I have a lot of stories, and I have a lot of songs to put those stories in, and like, as far as wins or losses, I can tell you I definitely have way more losses than I have wins, but the losses matter way more, and the losses turn into wins. You feel me? So I try to take all my L's and just think of them as positives, as like, instead of thinking why this is happening to me, I'm thinking, all right, why is this happening to me? You know? So instead of just like looking at it from a victim mentality, it's like, what can this do for me? You feel me? Why is this happening? So it's definitely just like a matter of perspective. How you gonna take your losses? Are you gonna wallow in them? Because if you wallow in them, eventually nothing good is gonna come out of them. You feel me? Take your time, breathe through your problems. You know, definitely sit back, think, meditate, do whatever you gotta do to look at things from a calm perspective, and think through them. You know, why is this happening to me, and what can this do for me? You know, so everyone takes losses, you know, but everyone turns them into wins. If you're smart enough, you will turn them into wins. So creatively, my losses matter way more. So if I'm taking losses right now, I know I'm turning them into wins, and I know I'm definitely going to turn them into wins because I'm using my losses instead of just like wallowing in them. But I think that's what just like, I know every artist knows that, because every real artist does that. If you're a painter, you're gonna go and cry right on top of a beautiful masterpiece, and that's gonna end up being your best piece. You know, so put emotion into everything that you do and see what happens.